Hello, everybody! What's up?
Welcome to the first Retrospective Roundtable. We meant to do this like a few months ago.
Shame on all of you.
Yeah, he's a guest star, so he has the right. He can talk smack against me and Phil. It's just that school, for streams, and life have not been very accommodating.
I mean, honestly, I watched your guys' videos, and I just think to myself,
How can you watch our videos? We
when?
haven't.
Okay, yeah,
we don't
totally
have any
lied.
yet.
I totally
We don't
lied.
have
I
any
did.
yet.
Okay, let's name off everybody first. My name is Phillip, also known as Mega Mace. This is my brother.
Hello,
Phillip.
I am John.
Phillips also forgot to mention co-manager of Retrospective. Forgot that.
What?
You forgot. He's also one of the co-managers of Retrospective. Well, apparently you forgot. I'm Infinity Storm founder and main manager of Retrospective, and then we have. Kadai, this is your part.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention to anything you
We
guys were
know
saying. I am Kadai. I am your guest star for the evening, and possibly the more interesting of the three. Or four. I can't count.
The views expressed.
He's also very
The
modest.
views expressed by Kadai do not necessarily reflect our own. Anyways, what we're talking about is, guy, you probably have heard it by now. If you haven't, I'm very surprised. They are finally remaking Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. As such, there's a lot of speculation going about. So why don't we just jump on the hype train, even though we missed it by like a month.
Yes, and thanks
Hype
to
train?
the latest issue from Cora magazine, we're getting a lot of interesting details, including a few speculative images.
I'm going to open up with a topic I know we're all going to talk about. It's been a concern about mine from the start. Kadai's heard me bitch about it enough to know this. Is that how they're going to deal with the issue of Blaziken? Like, remember, we all remember the starters. Remember, we had Fully Evolved, we had Blaziken, Swampert, and Sceptile, right?
No. You just picked. No. You started the game, you saw Professor What's-His-Face running around in circles, and then you
depending
saw,
on which version, it was either
do I
the first
get
two versions.
this, do I get Mudkip, or do I get Torchic? Duh, get Torchic.
Well, to
And
be
you-
fair, all three of those stars were pretty nice. Although, and also the little detail, depending on what version you were playing, it was either a Poochyena or a Zigzagoon chasing him.
Yeah, but in retrospect, if you played Emerald, it was always
He is Zigzagoon.
yeah.
Anyway, that's irrelevant.
Poochyena.
We're getting on tangent. Philip, you need to be active, by the way.
How can I be active when both of you are arguing?
We're arguing.
Seriously.
We aren't arguing.
Yes, we are.
Arguing is what you two are talking about the paddle.
No, we are arguing.
Oh, don't
Michael.
start with that again. Oh, not that. You keep that thing away from me. Don't you
There's
dare.
not permission to use it.
Aw.
No means no.
I will snap you like a Slim Jim.
Anyways,
You're not allowed to use that quote. That's from something else. Ow!
This is what I put up with. But anyways, my first main concern was that basically, like, if you look at those stars, all three of them were pretty good. I mean, you have Sceptile, who to date is the fastest grass type, but Blaziken was pretty good, especially once it got Speed Boost as a hidden ability. But it's the only one of those that has a Mega Evolution. And Mega Blaziken is so good, it was like the first Mega Evolution to get kicked to Ubers competitively, which is effectively banned.
And if anyone who does not know what Ubers is, he's talking about Pokemon Showdown.
No, not just Showdown, that's the competitive tiers. And Ubers is where all the broken stuff is. It's basically Legendaries, and then Mega Blaziken, Mega Lucario, and Mega Kangaskhan.
Wait, Mega Lucario?
To this date.
Yeah.
Well, we all knew Kangaskhan was going to get
Yeah, the
nailed
Mega
with that.
Lucario was the most broken, and it took them a month and a half to kick that bitch. Yeah,
Honestly,
that's another discussion for another time. I've told you why I think it was broken as hell, and you had to agree with me on that. But anyways,
Yeah.
like, I'm curious to how they're gonna compensate for that, because like obviously with it being a remake of Gen 3, we don't know how much is actually gonna be a remake of Gen 3, and then how much is gonna be them kind of revamping it with Generation 6 aspects. I think could I have something to bring up on this?
Well, it's also been slightly confirmed through Cora magazine, but I always thought, and everyone always thought from the beginning, that of course our lovable Steven, who loves to go collecting and researching stones.
He's going to find us the Mega,
Everyone likes stones.
especially Steven. I mean, his last name, I'm pretty sure he
Steven the Steel.
I'm sorry, did I get dropped? As I was saying, as we all know from Cora magazine, as has been speculated, and from just basic common thought, we can all agree that who else in the world would be better in the world of Gen 3 to discuss the issues of Mega Stones than the stone expert himself?
And the guy
Yeah,
whose last
Steven.
name is Stone.
Mr. Stone.
Yes, Steven Stone. I don't think
Let's
that's
hope for his
Steven-
sake he never gets into drugs.
Oh god.
I'm gonna get Steven
Well,
Stone.
well, stones are only one step away from dust. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get Steven Stone tonight. It also sounds like you're gonna have sex with him.
Dude, give me that Paris. I need that spore effect.
Anyways, that tangent is we're so mature. But like a lot of people would think, like that's one of my concerns from the start, like since day one, is how they're gonna deal with that issue of the Mega Evolution. Like I agree that probably be how they go about it. Personally, and this is just my opinion, I would just rather them not bring in Mega Evolutions. Honestly,
they're going to do it so that way
they're going to, but I'd rather not see it because.
Well, how about for post game?
Maybe they'll have a certain amount of like turns that they can. Actually
Let's just address the possibilities of how they might go at this, because obviously Blaze, if there's one starter that has a Mega Evolution that was so good it got like kicked to Ubers on day one of X and Y coming out, that would be a clear choice. And hopefully they do something to try to balance that.
Well, you would assume first off that like the most obvious solution to that problem,
which I would hate, Mega Evolve, Sceptile, and Swampert.
Actually, no, that's not what I'm talking about, but that is a point for the future conversation. I would say that their first solution to that would probably just be to make it post-game, you know?
That's actually probably the best option.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Because like
it would solve a lot of the problems, and then, like, you know, the main issue of that is like, oh, Battle Frontier and etc. It's like, well, then
Battle
they could
Frontier,
just say...
you're probably not going to be able to use Megas.
No, yeah, they can just ban Megas in the Frontier, which, you know, some people might be mad about because of the Battle
Frontier hasn't always been about keeping people happy.
Yeah,
difficult.
I mean,
especially
actually, the Battle Frontier already had quite a few rules within itself too.
Although, fun fact, there was a break in one of the rules. There's an error in one of the rules. You know how all the legendaries were banned? Back then, Deoxys' form was based on the game you were playing. So if you hacked in a Deoxys anything other than speed, you could use it. Because Emerald was Deoxys.
Really?
Yeah, because on there back then, Deoxys' form was determined by your game. So legit. So basically, if you had Fire Red, I think Ruby and Sapphire was attack. Fire Red and Leaf Green was defense. No, Ruby was attack. It was divided between these, and Emerald had speed. Is the point? Okay. So, so you would have to hack it in, obviously, because otherwise you would not be able to legitimately obtain a Deoxys attack, defense, or normal form. But if you did so, you could actually use it on the Frontier events that use your own Pokemon, because it was coded only for Deoxys speed.
Couldn't you just use a Game Link?
No, like even if you
using the original Game Boy Advance.
No, I'm talking like period. You couldn't enter with them in your team for the events at the Battle Frontier on Emerald. But through that little oversight, if you hacked in a Deoxys attack, defense, or normal form, you could actually use it in the events. Huh. But anyways, like you said, I think post-game would probably be the best option, because like look at X and Y, a lot of the better Megas were like that. I know for offhand, like Blaziken was an event one, wasn't it?
I believe so, but I believe also through Dreamworld. I think you can also get it through Dreamworld.
I thought Dreamworld was shut down.
Apparently not, because I've managed to breed a speed boost Torchic, but
that's the main reason.
Secondary issue with Battle Frontier. I'm just gonna say it now because everyone is thinking it. We can all remember the Pokemon Emerald Grid glitch for Battle Frontier. You all know what I'm talking about.
Oh god,
the classic Emerald duplicating glitch.
There are Battle Pike, but that's also a thing.
Yeah.
Let them know if you don't know, or let them know what the glitch is.
Yes.
If they don't know.
There is a glitch where if you go to, I want to say it is the Battle Tower, where if you place your Pokemon into a PC, save the game, pull them out, put them in your team, go to the Battle Frontier, and then reset right before you save. What happens is your game will reload back when you're talking to the person that you go to battle. It's the multi-battle link person, like the very first person on your left side. You will actually restart your game. You will end up right there. You'll look in your party. That Pokemon is there. You will then go to the PC, and whatever you had sitting there before now is sitting in the same box.
To be fair, that's more likely a coding error or oversight, so it'd probably be fixed.
And I understand that, but at the same time, it would be so disappointing. Like I know that
you kind of want to see it because it wasn't that.
They have to do it. It
wasn't that usable unless you want to dupe items. I don't remember if it worked that way.
Actually, no. It was useful if it was like, oh, hey, I have a Feebas.
Oh yeah, Feebas.
Never gonna get it.
Actually, I've only had one.
Feebas.
Talk about your Feebas story.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Oh yes, the Feebas. Oh yes.
I actually had one on Sapphire for the record, but I never evolved it. I didn't know how. I beat the entire beauty contest, master rank, and had the painting with the moveset of Tackle, Splash, Flail, and Hail.
You just had to probably level it up by like just one level.
Yes, I didn't know this at the time. I was like,
Now I forget. Don't you have to like max Ev's beauty or something?
max beauty and then max. No,
I
it's
think
beauty. It's beauty. It's got
No,
like
no,
it's
Because my
No,
Lord's
no,
just
it was,
a beauty Pokemon.
after-
or
it's
something
max
like
beauty and then level. I think.
It's after.
No, I think it's just max
Wait, let's
beauty.
let Kadai
and
answer,
one
'cause I think he
level.
Oh my god. It's what you have to do is you just get maximum beauty up until Generation 5, and then once you're at max beauty, you can just level up once, and you'll get Milotic.
I never did that.
Then
one level.
after that, I believe they changed it.
It was like this
Weird.
rainbow scale or something that they
Yeah,
introduced.
it's
I know
like
what you're talking about. It looks really weird.
Special.
They took
But-
out like it. Giving Feebas has always been impossible, and they always do the same stupid gimmick where whatever area it's in, it's like a randomly chosen 6 water tiles per day you can have it, and you have no way of knowing it because it's already a really rare catch. So you have no way of knowing if.
Yeah.
And I only know this because I have managed to catch a Feebas.
I've caught one too. I didn't know this at the time. I was just really
Before
lucky.
you all start pulling out your Game Boy SPs, finding out where I live. By the way, I definitely do not live at the bottom of the ocean. You definitely should not check there.
Under the sea.
Story time.
Under the
But anyways, the few
Don't start.
the one time that I did have a Feebas, I had it's we all know how rare Feebas is. It is literally
Yes,
one of
it's the
the
stupidest
rarest.
gimmick ever.
It is one of the rarest Pokemon ever. And in retrospect, Milotic is a good Pokemon, but it's not.
Milotic is amazing, especially with its new ability, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, but it's not worth the effort you have to put in to get a Feebas.
Oh,
But
I'm talking. Oh yeah.
I got
No,
a Feebas off
Nobody
of
has that
Dump
patience.
Box,
I think
and-
Feebas is the reason we all started hacking.
Yeah, really. But the one time that I did get Feebas, I had a friend of mine who, frankly, he also wanted it. And instead of asking me nicely or simply trading me something for it, he waited till I left the room, traded with me.
He
And
left
then
to use
when
the
I
bathroom,
found
I
out-
think, right?
No, I left to use the bathroom.
No,
And
that's
then
what I'm
it
saying.
was- I came back, and then
And he has a Game Boy in his
my-
hand.
Yeah, my game was sitting there. Like, he had both the little, like, the wireless adapter things. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just trading some things over. What did you trade? Oh, don't worry, I gave you something good. What did you trade? He had my Feebas.
Oh no! Tell what how
What
you
did he
get
get?
And then I reset his game. And I was like, if I can't have it, no one can. Goodbye, Feebas.
1 second.
I
What did he
re-
give you in exchange for the Feebas?
a tentacle.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I'm happy to say I'm not friends with him anymore.
Question. I was just thinking about it a second ago. When did the transition from Pokemon to Pokemon happen? Because I noticed that you were saying Pokemon.
Pokemon and Pokemon. Really, it's.
Yeah, like originally it was Pokemon, and then you're saying Pokemon.
I guess it really all depends on your accent as well, because that is something like people always look at Pokemon and they see like, oh, the accented E, but they don't do anything about it, so they just say Pokemon. It's Pokemon based on the little accent, and I'm probably wrong when I say this, so definitely quote me on that later. But
Well, it looks like a Spanish E, so a Spanish E makes an A sound.
Pokemon, yes,
Like they don't say frappe, they say frappe.
yes. Wait, yeah, okay. Yeah, but definitely quote me on this later because everyone knows that I am always correct, and everything that I say is right. But
Well, you shouldn't assume. You know what they say about assuming.
no, I can.
Yep.
I assume that. Oh my god, no! Don't even pull that. I know what you're referring to. But by the way, that's another story for later. And by the way, Mega Mace, I will not stop whenever I find out. But if you want to learn more about that later, I'm sure you're gonna have to follow Mega Mace on his Twitch stream. That's at twitch.tv/Mega Mace.
Awesome plug-in, man.
Yes.
I didn't even notice it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But God, I don't even know what I was.
Not a
I
shameless
don't even
plug at
know
all.
something about frappes and.
Sorry, I was gone. I had to sleep something. I didn't say anything. What did I miss?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Patrick, push us onward.
What?
You need a segue.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna talk about something I'm looking forward to. What else did I miss? First of all,
A
Feebas
bunch
story?
of drugs. Lots and lots of drugs.
all right. Also, my Feebas story is a little less heartbreaking. Mine was like I had a Feebas. I never evolved it because I didn't know how. I won the beauty contest and had the portrait made the first try. With a Feebas that literally knew it was level whatever I caught it at. It was like 12, with the moveset of Tackle, Splash, Flail, and Hail. Don't
My
ask
question
how I
is,
did that.
why did you have tackle in there? I mean,
Because I didn't know anything. I was an idiot at the time, okay? Emeralds was the first time I played a game and had a clue what I was doing.
Everyone was an idiot at some point with Pokemon. I was like 5 when I was given the original Fire Red, and I think that was during the time I was chewing on pennies and quarters.
And smacking me in the head with a metal bar.
Well, he's hitting you in the ass with a wooden bar now, so...
Well, gee, now don't I feel old? Because when I was 5, I was playing the original Red. Thank you very much.
I played I have a distinct memory of when I was like 6, playing my cousin Jake's Game Boy Color one on the TV, and I felt like such a badass.
The original Red, the missing no glitch. That was always a fun one.
Michael, I have a question. Who was that kid that you used to hang out with that was behind our house?
It sounds like a creeper.
Which person?
The person who lived behind our house. The house behind us back in the old house.
I mean, the person that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact of Gen...
No, this is relevant.
I gotta hear this.
This person we used to hang out with a lot. He gave me his Game Boy Advance, or his Game Boy, because he was like, hey, let's see what you can do. I accidentally got rid of his Charizard.
Yeah, that's like a death sentence right there. The original dragon. But anyways, on topic, did you guys talk about
it? It wasn't actually a dragon type.
It took them like a decade and a half to get that, and it's only through a Mega Evolution.
And even, only through a Mega Evolution.
I do like the fact that it looks like the shiny sprite, though. Anyway, another discussion, but what did I miss?
Here, I think we can actually use this as a good time to plug into what I was talking about before. Some of you, as I said again, from the Core magazine, it has possibly been confirmed due to the fact that Cerebi is also advertising the magazine. But again, take these with a grain of salt because these are just like brand new.
Nothing has been confirmed on Bulbapedia aside from Latios and Latios getting Mega Evolutions, and we've known that for months. And this is probably how they're going to reveal it.
Wait, they are?
It hasn't been officially announced, but it was in the coding, and this is probably how they're going to do that.
Yeah, but
I'm just gonna warn you now. I don't take things with a grain of salt. I take them by the bags of salt.
Okay, yes, Mr. Frugal.
Let
him talk.
We have, let's see, 1, 2. I'm just trying to count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 new confirmed Mega Evolutions for the Gen 3 remakes.
We have actually. Can you listen?
No, yes, we have all. Yeah, we have 5. Again, these aren't confirmed. These are through Core magazine. Even though I just
it's not on Bulbapedia yet. So we don't know if it's confirmed. Bulbapedia is basically the closest to basically. It's
along with Mega Blaziken, we will now have Mega Sceptile, who is both Grass and Dragon type, and possibly has the ability Lightning Rod.
See how that would work.
Along with Swampert, who will remain Water Ground, who will also get a Mega Evolution. Diancie, the
Rock Fairy that adds rare mutation of Carving. That's a debate all of itself about how that works.
Yep.
But what's the next
getting
one?
A Mega Evolution, and as we've all seen from the Ruby and Sapphire remake box art, you see Kyogre and Groudon standing. They don't look the same. That's actually the image of their new Mega Evolutions. It's supposed to be like a primal.
I don't think it's the Mega Evolution. I think it's the regular Groudon.
No, yeah, but no, that's my point. It's not so much a Mega Evolution as it is
possibility.
The primal.
I would want to kind of now. I want to see if like you remember we had Primal Dialga and Palkia on the originals. I want to kind of like put those next to each other and compare like Groudon box art with Groudon Alpha, whatever it is.
Right.
Can you pull it up just to give us a description of how it looks? Phil, you need to do that in the video editing.
Here, Hank.
With what?
Like, let's see, like, just at this point, just the sake of it, like, I'd kind of be interested in, like, if you put, like...
What, the Mega Sceptile?
No, also, I need to say something. With Mega Sceptile, do we know what the ability for Swampert would be?
What would it be? The ability? No, I've got nothing on that.
I think I heard it was Swift Swim.
Oh, yeah.
That would kind of make it break even. Like, I know everything except for Alakazam gets, like, a total base stat boost of 100, I think, from Mega Evolving. But, like, for Sceptile, that doesn't seem like... I think Lightning Rod gives you a special attack bonus, which would be mainly the main, I guess, function of this. I mean, it's a quad resistance to electric, but we've had those for a while.
But you're thinking about this also in the wrong way, also, because Mega Sceptile, like you said, that's a quad resistance to electricity.
It's already the fact, and given
but then it also has Lightning Rod, And then plus,
did you say Skeptile? I thought it was Sapphire.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about, like, what utility that would have. Like, I guess that since it is, like, it's already the fastest grass type to date, to the extent of my knowledge.
Plus, if you think about
that plus Mega Evolution plus special attack buffs and immunity to electric.
Plus, someone uses Thunder Wave.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The main utility would be no Thunder Wave. But again, like, I'm hoping it doesn't come to this, and if it is, like, I'd rather than see, like you suggested, I'd rather see them do, like how they had Mega Absol and a few others I can think of offhand, where, like, it's a post-game thing. Mm-hmm. Because, honestly, that, like, people already have picked the Fire Starter for no particular reason other than it's what everyone does for generations. I'd hopefully not want to see them give an actual reason to...
Actually, I've always picked the Grass Starter.
Generation 4
every single game.
Like, Generation 4 was the first time I legitimately, like, was stricken, because fully evolved, I love all the stars. You have the giant turtle that has the same name as Groudon in the decks. You have a penguin with swords for arms, and then you have a fiery monkey. What's not to love?
I hated that monkey. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was really overpowered, and it was
no, I just hated it. I thought it sucked. I mean, I know I'm gonna get tons of hate for this.
I wish Napoleon would have a... Oh, yeah. We're on the internet. We can't say anything about pissing somebody off.
It's, I'm going to get tons of hate for this, but I absolutely hated Infernape. The first time I played Gen 4, I played with Infernape. Or, I don't even remember what the starter, like the original starter version of it is called anymore.
Chimchar.
But it's, yes,
Chimchar,
yes.
yeah.
I picked Chimchar because, everyone was telling me, it's like, oh, Chimchar's great, da-da-da. So I got Chimchar.
Didn't you?
I hated it.
I always went with what was his name?
Chimchar was just I knew it was good late game, which is why I went with it. But otherwise, it was just such a pain, especially because if you basically have to grind to evolve to Monferno before you can do the first gym.
Turtwig, that's the one I'm thinking of. That's the one I always went with.
The grass type, yeah.
Turtwig was awesome, and so...
I just love Torterra just because of how cool it looked on the opening for the Darkrai movie, because when it was using Seed Bomb.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so cool, and that's like the only time I think we've seen that move, which sucks. Because it's such a theoretically cool move. It's just like it's like you just spin. It's like Bullet Seed, except they explode and they're slightly slower. That's about it. Which is awesome. But anyways, also I'm going to talk about another topic to go back to the generation remakes that we're supposed to be talking about. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is going to be one mega, like, because if you look at Bulbapedia, which is the go-to for official information. They basically, it hasn't been announced, but there are going to be Mega Latios and Mega Latios. I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably how they're going to really do that.
The real question, though, is that how are they, because, if we can assume, because you would think that if there was a Mega Skeptile and a Mega, and you know what I mean, Mega Skeptile and Mega Swampert, you would think that would be one of the first things that people would look for in the coding, but because we haven't spotted that, and then again, core, you take with a grain of salt, but at the same time, you think we would have spotted something like that.
Yeah, like Latios and Latios, we know because they spotted that in like the first week.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is that means either core magazine is wrong, and then it's like none of the information is true,
the train to the bank,
or even more interesting is the fact that it's not coded into X and Y. And then in which case that causes a problem, because then in the remakes,
that could go both ways.
It's like it comes one way. Does that mean X and Y is going to need a patch soon? Does that mean that?
Yeah, that would be an existence. That would break it up. Like, remember on Ruby Sapphire, you couldn't trade from Fire to Leaf Green really because it just wasn't working too well.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, I don't know how I feel about that, because like there's examples for both sides. Like, first of all, like, look at Coliseum, right? We all remember that game, right? The first GameCube one.
Yes.
If you did a Link Battle Fire Leaf Green, you had
GameCube.
The GameCube, yeah. I was saying with Coliseum, because this is
with
the first side.
Buddy.
I'm talking about that's Stadium. That's Stadium.
What?
That's Stadium. I'm talking about Coliseum.
Coliseum. Yeah, right.
But what I'm saying is, this is it goes both ways with this, because first, like, Nintendo, like this one, like, you could Link Battle with the Fire Leaf Green and it had the correct sprite, but most people don't realize is Coliseum came out several years before even the Emerald did. Let alone Fire Leaf Green. So they had the coding then for that, but then there's also a lot of times where they have a real lack of foresight. Like Ruby and Sapphire, you couldn't really trade anything from Fire and Leaf Green over because it was just not really made for it. So I don't know how to feel about this, because Nintendo's shown adequacy and inadequacy on this issue.
I mean, I trust Nintendo on a lot of things because there has been times when Nintendo, like, they've really pulled the wool over our eyes and been like, haha, take a look at this, and everyone's like,
YouTube.
What?
Oh. Yeah, we need to do a video. We could do an entire discussion on Nintendo.
But at the same time, though, there's also been times when, like, we've gone to Nintendo and we've said, okay, come on, pull away the curtain, let's see the awesome thing, and they're like, no. What are you talking about? It's like,
you mean this?
It's like, oh yeah, you mean this thing? Yeah, that thing's totally legit. Get the programmers to work right now.
Well, they've also made big blunders like that Pokebank thing.
Oh yeah, that took for a freaking.
That thing
took for.
Did they ever? Whatever happened?
They got it to work, but it took them like months. And their compensation for it, I guess this kind of was good because there wasn't really a good way to get this otherwise with Celebi. But again, that doesn't make up for it.
Plus, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, like the first week it was free, but after that...
Actually, no, I think it was the first month it was free.
I don't know, but either way, they took way too...
The fact is, you still have to pay for it.
I know, and we already had to throw $60 at them for a game, and God only, I don't know offhand how much for the game system.
Shut up and take my money.
Well, it gets to that point where it'd be cheaper.
It's like they're basically giving us DLC.
Or if you have an extra 3DS laying around, just buy another game and use that as storage.
Basically, that's the way you could do it. Also, like, do you guys, Phil? This is, I guess, me and Kadai both brought up one point. Do you guys have anything you're kind of like hopes, concerns, threats, comments, questions, or vibes about the new upcoming releases?
Let's go with a bribe. How about we actually make the what was it called? I've been stuck with this image in my head for the last, like, hour. It's not the Scizor, the Scyther not being able to use the move Fly.
They need to fix
that's still something that they never fixed.
And they still haven't fixed the thing with Dodrio either.
It just bugs me.
What about that? I never saw
it's a paradox they created, right? The Dex entries specifically say Doduo and Dodrio cannot... Well, Doduo, because Dodrio is about how the heads represent sorrow, anger, and empathy. But Doduo's entry specifically says it cannot fly. It can learn the move Fly.
Your mind
I'm gonna
is
send you a picture if I can. Let me try. I'm gonna show you. I found a picture of this. Please tell me I saved it.
The little helicopter. Going back on the topic of Gen 3, something I also was very interested in Gen 3. Something else that I was also very interested in the world of Gen 3 was the issue. No. I was gonna say that the whole fact that Dragon types. That's Gen 3 is really where Dragon types started. Like
it's the first. Well, it's the first time we had more than 3.
Yeah, I know, and that was like a huge deal. Well, no, I mean there was
to get him because he took forever.
No, yeah, they were just way too hard to get. They were in.
But once you finally got it,
but then Gen 3 came along and they were like, "Hey, do you want a dragon?" They're like, "Yeah, here you go. Here's a Trapinch." Like this isn't a. It's like this isn't a dragon.
Oh yes, the Trapinch.
It's like level it up to 45.
This is a chain chomp with legs.
I would have offered you 2 drinks, but yeah, this is kind of... you guys are kind of far away.
I'll take some Moo Moo milk. Thank you.
Actually, I saw some awesome bottles that looked like that at the store, actually.
Just buy them and mail them to me.
Do you want a thing full of oregano? Or a bottle full of oregano?
If it looks like Moo Moo milk, I don't give a shit what it holds.
All you have to do is put the little sticker on it.
I could do is give it and put it in my brother's canteens and be a dick because he steals my money sometimes. Anyways, I don't have the picture, but I know Kadai has seen it. It was from Dorkly, where it showed the guy jumps on Dodo and he just like starts spinning his heads like tails.
Rockocopter.
I'll make sure to add that in the editing.
I'll add. Also, but Michael, do you have anything like this? I know Kadai knows what I have. That's what I was jumping on him. If he stole it, I was gonna have to kill him. But is there anything like you anything you'd want to bring up?
Not really. I'm just hoping that if there are Mega Evolutions of Latte, they don't actually mess them up.
Yeah, because Latios with Soldew is like, I think it's still the most powerful special attacker. That's why Soldew is banned. And also Soldew presents an existence paradox, but that's another discussion.
Well, not necessarily. That's
it's a potential because here's the thing.
Mega Latios hacked to be holding a Soldew. Oh god.
No, you couldn't, dude. You know why? You have to hold Latios.
No, yeah.
Well, there's got to be more than one latte, obviously.
The other thing is interesting is that they're especially with Deontay being added, although Deontay being a mutation of a normal Pokemon, I guess it'd be more understandable. Is that to now the only legendary with a mutation is Mewtwo, and that's kind of a genetically altered or created Pokemon. It's a failed clone of Mewtwo. I mean, of Mew. Specifically from DNA from Mew's eyelash.
And then you got the Uncannon Ditto.
No, don't start the whole Porygon Ditto Mew situation. That's no.
Well, they have Porygon.
No, Deoxys technically isn't a mutation.
No, it is. It's a rare mutation of Carbink. Which also means that theoretically there could be more. Like to this day, though, it doesn't seem like a lot of legendaries, especially in the cosmology I'm presenting in AnimeCon. They kind of like embody, I guess, an element of existence. Like you can see, like you have the obvious ones, like Dialga represents time, Palkia represents space, and you have like Mewtwo could represent anger. You could have Shaman, Suicune, and Celebi all representing purity, but Deontay is pretty much inconsequential. It can create diamonds out of thin air by compressing the air around, which is exploitable, but not all that significant in the grand scale of things.
Well, we don't really know too much about it.
And to be fair, Latios and Latios didn't really fit in my table either. Like, I couldn't really find anything that they represented either. They're just kind of, they're there.
I always saw Latios and Latios actually as...
It's a dragon that got drunk and slept with a fighter jet.
No, I always, like, you know how you can always see things in, like, the cosmology sense. I always thought of it as Latias and Latios as being sort of underdogs to Rayquaza, in a sense.
I could almost see that, because dragons were so rare at the time, just that the mindset I got now, because there's, like, 20-something dragons, although you only see 8 of them used competitively, is that it's hard to see. Like, at the time, I guess I could see that, because, you know, they were both jets, and Rayquaza lives in the ozone layer.
Mm-hmm.
Still, Michael, I gotta bring up 2 things. I'm gonna pick one. I'm not gonna. There's one I don't think I've talked to you about, so I'll bring that one up now. Contests. They haven't done them in so long.
You know why they haven't done them in so long? Because in Gen 4,
in Gen 4 they were awful.
Yeah, in Gen 4 they were so awful that no one ever used them.
Because
and then it was no one cared. But then
the whole contest stuff was kind of stupid.
Now Gen 3 was better than Gen 4, Michael. Trust me.
Well, no, it was good and it was bad because
it was simple, but it was simple. It was a curse and a blessing.
There's nothing like the anime.
Don't get me started about an anime physics game. We will be here all night.
No, it's like what made it good and what made it bad in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald is actually that exact problem: Ruby, Sapphire, and then Emerald. How Gen 4 failed is in the same way Emerald failed, because I remember in Ruby and Sapphire, as you went through to the different towns, you saw, oh, this is the normal contest. You go to the next town.
the all-in-one place.
This is the super contest. And, you know, that made it give it, like, a sense of progression. So while you first came into the town, you were like, oh, well, might as well do this while I'm here.
Well, you had to wait, to be fair, you had to wait till we went to Ventdorf Town to get the contest pass for some reason, but yeah, you got a point.
No, yeah, it's like you thought to yourself, well, I might as well go do this, and then it's like it was part of the town. It was like,
but the other one, you're basically
like
stuck in the same building for 6 years.
Like yeah, think about this. Brendan and May, they got very, very tired of breaking into people's houses and checking their trash cans for great balls. So finally, they come up to this fantastic place where they're telling, "Hey, do you think your Pokemon is better looking than average Pokemon? Yeah. Well, then prove it, because this guy's calling you out." And then you did it, and you felt.
And you win a Luxury Ball, or a Great Ball.
Yes, and you felt so good about yourself.
Luxury Ball is if you won Master Rank, and it's all in one building.
Yeah, but then you played Emerald, and it's all in one building, and by the time you get there, you're like, I don't care.
It's in Lilico, which is like the 4th to last city you go to if you don't count. Well, actually, Pacific on Emerald you have to go to kind of because you don't know exactly where the building is.
By the way, that reminds me of something else. I swear to God, if I'm playing Gen 3 remakes and I don't finally see Mirage Island,
oh my God!
I swear to God, I have checked Mirage Island every day.
You know all it's on it are
Actually, I think I found that once.
You know how it works, right? It's just as stupid as the Feebas thing, which they need to change that for the love of frickin' Arceus.
I mean, no, look.
Yes, I know I'm mispronouncing it.
I mean, like, seriously, you go to Mirage Island. Mirage Island has
you know what all it has is, right? Those berries, Lepsy berries, I think, Kelpsy or something like that, and why not?
Yes, Kelpsy berries and why not?
Everybody thought that was how you got the Oxus.
Yes,
actually, no. Back when it was on cheatcodes.com, they had some bullshit thing about how if you went to talk to somebody at the space center, eventually you would get the message, "Hey, you want to go to the moon?" Which makes fucking sense, mind you. And then you go there and you fight. That's like, there's a few problems with this. You would die. Your Pokemon would die. Everything except the Oxus would die.
I waited for that for so.
No, not necessarily. Rayquaza seems like he can
well,
go
he
up
lives
in
in the
orbit for
ozone.
short
He lives in the
periods of
ozone
time.
layer. Yeah, like there's they like go pick. Oh God, your head.
It's like, go Pikachu, pick.
No, what about you? It'd just be like, go!
If you have a helmet, needless to say, there's also the issue that you're not an astronaut and you have no clue what the hell you're doing. But
You can
there's
always
this,
send it both.
and people didn't realize that shinies weren't scripted. Like, people would have on Chicos.com, this is back when this was relevant, they would have, like, there's a yellow Magikarp, I mean, not Magikarp, but I mean, well, there's that too, but there's a yellow Poochyena and Pelipper Woods. It may take you a while to find it. Oh, well, considering it, the odds of finding a shiny are 1 in 8,912, yeah, it might take a while. And every time somebody found a shiny, they had it like listed as it must be there.
Like, oh yeah, this
Okay,
is
I'm done
obvious.
ranting about cheatcodes.com and how terrible that was. But
Yes.
there's the contest thing, right? The main issue I had with that is on Diamond Pearl is it wasn't like on Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald you could figure out, okay, this spicy gives you a cool boost. And they kept this alright, like dry is beauty, sour is tough. But then that was discernible, okay? It wasn't very complicated, but it was discernible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and you had no fucking way of knowing which accessories match which traits.
What made it even better was the Poffins. That made it even worse. It was
the
like
Poffins, oh my god, the cat making Pokebox was fun. I don't know why, but that was fun. Can we agree?
No, yeah, because it was a mini game within itself. Meanwhile,
it was really fun and it had the cool music.
and again, it goes to that problem of like, oh, what does this do this?
Basically, for Poffins, you're playing Cooking Mama.
And the problem was,
and you can
pretty
fucking burn them.
yeah,
I remember those games.
like at least back in Gen 3, if you did horrible, at least
Somebody
you were
else
standing
could carry
around.
you. Somebody could carry
Yes,
you. Like the
but at the
Pokemon
same
Master, you
time,
could not keep up with them. I tried.
in Gen 4, they're literally in Gen 3, it was a small mini game.
And
it lasted
it was
30 seconds.
Fun.
It lasted
It's
30
like a
seconds.
5-minute painful tutorial that if you make the slightest mistake, it's screwed up. And also, another issue with this, even if you are somehow god-awful at the Pokemon thing, which if you have 2 thumbs, that should not be the case, you could at least, when the Pokeblock Master came in, you remember the post-game events, right?
Yeah, it's like...
You could do nothing, and he would make better Pokeblocks than 4 people could ever hope to make. No translation of this into Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
It was the most godly thing ever whenever
Like,
that
you
guy
guys
showed
remember...
up.
You guys remember how sometimes you get like the critical where it had the filled circles? This guy got those every single time it passed him. It was basically a bot. And he had gold Pokeblocks that were like so good. Like you would need to hold off till doing contest post game for this because they were so awesome.
It would be essentially you would walk in.
And also he would use
see...
those rare berries too. Remember?
Yeah. No, yeah, that was the thing. He would use Kelpsy berries.
He was using Kelpsy, Koala. No, like do you remember the berries you would get if you told that person, the berry master's wife, a specific phrase?
Hi.
That's what he used.
Oh yeah, it's
also
honestly...
I want to see if I want them to bring back those things too, the phrase things.
You know what I also want to
guy.
bring back. You know what I also want to bring back.
I think you're gonna steal mine.
I've been shouting blah 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 at my daughter.
Oh my
god! Serious.
I've been shouting stupid bitch.
Hopefully, I mean,
right?
with X and Y, Nintendo
they need to bring
tried
that back just so we can laugh at the younger kids.
Yes, with X and Y, they tried to make the games more family friendly by restricting.
Even though they have some really dark shit. Look at the Pokedex. That's not family friendly. Beautiful. Have you seen that art? There's 2 entries for Beautiful. One says, it uses its long nose to suck flower out to collect pollen. It spreads it when it flies. The other one, it uses its long nose to drain the fluids of its prey. Like, this art on Dorkly shows the first one shows Professor Sycamore and a flower. The next one shows, like, its Beautiful moving towards the camera, blood dripping off of its long nose, and you see Sycamore's feet sticking out of the bushes.
So I'm gonna need a picture for that later.
I'll send you the Dorkly
I can get you that link. I have seen that multiple times.
So it's not a family friendly, although those are pretty well hidden. I'll give them that.
Oh no!
But
most of those, some of those Pokedex
they're so dark.
Are nowhere close to family.
Also,
friendly.
there's a theory going around about a special Baneat. You know what would be hilarious? Like, Baneat is an abandoned doll. What if somebody abandoned a blow-up doll?
Oh my!
Oh my! There's I've also have you also
definitely gonna use Grudge.
Have you also ever heard the idea that, like, if you take a Rotom and you cover it with a Reaper Cloth...
Oh, turn it into a sure puppet.
Yeah, it's like, boom, shove it. Right there.
That's actually a decent theory.
Actually, that's something interesting, too. It's like, before, also in Gen also before in Gen 3, like, the only real ghost type there was honestly, you got Gaslit.
You had it was like dragons. It was tied to one evolutionary line.
Yeah, but then Gen 3 came along, and honestly, it didn't bring too many more ghost types.
Yeah, and also to be this, I would like to point out that we have to distinguish that by Generation 2, we did actually get another ghost type, Mischievous.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was
wasn't
still
that good. It was terrible. It had a sick move, Pain Split, which is really good now, but that was about all it could do.
Yeah, it was still, ghost types were very limited. And
we got
honestly,
Benit, and dude, that was my Benit carried me through the damn Battle Frontier.
It was that and Dusclops. I remember.
Dusclops I didn't like because it was too slow. Benit, I had one. I remember what it had. It had Psychic, Thunderbolt.
It was slow,
Shadow
but that
Ball.
didn't stop it from destroying you whenever you went to the Battle Frontier.
Yeah, that stupid, confused, Ray, mean look bastard.
Yes, that actually literally, it's honestly that Dusclops.
But also, it's actually been tested. Also, we never explained the thing about the daughter. What that was, I think, correct me if I mess up anything, is basically there was a person in Westboro City. There was a person her daughter was sick. His daughter was, doing a gender bent there, was sick, and he was basically, you wanted to tell him a phrase that he thought would make her feel better. And you had to go to, I think it was like some official site, give them your game number thing, and they would tell you the phrase. I still don't know to this day what it gave you for doing this.
Literally, it's the things that you would yell were not even like phrases. Like, they were things that, honestly speaking, I think that if you shout them at your daughter and she laughs, you should call, like...
an exorcist?
Yeah, or something, because it's literally... Because, like, you know, you would make... Because everyone would do the funny things. It's like, do the funny things to yell at the kid. By the way, I love the fact... Says this... No, because it was like a 20-character thing that you could plug in, so you could put in a full sentence in there. It's like, what should I yell? What should I yell at my daughter?
It was like
I'll try that.
Also
Get a job. Get a job. Oh, no, it doesn't work.
There are hours
I guess
of
she's really
entertainment
serious.
in this little thing that what did they even give you for that? I don't even remember.
No, it was like, all right, here, it's like, there's the code, put in. All right, I'll tell that to my daughter. 139604 TC-11.
Down, left, forward, attack.
No, it's like, oh my god, she's
up, down, left, right, B, A, start.
And honestly though, what ends up happening is that it's like, oh hey, the little girl smiled. It's like, and in exchange, she gives you different wallpapers to use for the PC, because that's something else that happened in Gen 3 that first came out, was the whole revamp of the PC.
Given I didn't organize my
the storage system. It's for any of you who never played the original gold, silver, red, blue, or yellow, you can thank your entire ability to organize PC. Thanks to
I'm thinking about
Generation
just that.
3.
Just the fact that you didn't have to switch boxes.
Yes.
That was so stupid.
Well, it made sense for the time. It made sense for the technology.
Yeah, but basically, let's explain to them what happened for the little kids. Basically, you were set to one box at a time. If that box was full, you could not catch anything. And to do this, you had to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center and change the box. And if you wanted to look in the other boxes, have to stop, go, and change the box back. And then you would always forget to change it so you could catch stuff.
This made it especially funny when it happened in Twitch Plays Pokemon.
That's why they took the Safari Zone out of Silver and Gold, I swear.
Yeah, it's, thankfully they've gone and that whole system got revamped. But honestly, it's at the end of it, what you end up getting is, the wallpapers for the PC. And honestly speaking, it's not worth it.
No.
Not because, like, oh, you only get stupid wallpapers. That's not the issue.
They need to fix a lot of stuff in Emerald like this. Like, there's stuff like this that was so ungodly difficult for no reward. Feebas is the only one that comes with reward, and they have been doing that stupid trick 2 days. Because the problem with that is that it's not a verifiable system. Like, Phil, when you move, you're on a different tile, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Feebas, simply, each day, it is a randomly chosen 6 water tiles of the route where you can catch it. On Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, it was that route where it's always raining. And the thing is that it's such a rare find, you have no way of knowing if you have gotten the correct tile.
Until you fish it like 10 times.
No, it's not even that.
You had to fish it 100 times, and then you could say, okay, maybe this square is no.
And there's like 70 or 80, what was it? Did it include up at the top of the waterfall even?
Yes, it does.
So that seems like 150 tiles. Well, but no, it'd be 100 because you couldn't access most of those. But there's like an ungodly process to get this, right? That's the only thing that had some sort of reward, right?
We had the girl that you could scream at, which, while providing some entertainment, got you ultimately nothing, because I did not organize my boxes.
Which brings me to my point that I was going to make, the fact that it's not worth it, not because, like, oh, you only get stupid wallpapers. It's not worth it because the entertainment value of wallpapers versus yelling at this little girl, it's proportional.
They need to bring that back, but, like, there's just a lot of kind of stuff in there. We had Feebas, we had the girl, we even had
Mirage Island.
Mirage Island, the big one. Because a lot of people wanted to do competitive, they wanted to, like, I was trying to get all the berries, and I couldn't.
But at the same time, though, we can't just snark Gen 3 for the small little things.
So I want to see that gimmick again, because, like, there was a lot of stuff you think about that.
No, I mean, like, there was also a lot of secret stuff in Gen 3 that was very much worth it.
They had the
no, something very secret.
Oh, don't you dare start talking about that damn truck.
No, not the truck. You know, something secret.
Oh yeah,
something a bit hidden, if you will.
Secret bases. They better fucking bring that back. I will kill an employee, Nintendo employee.
Not just that, but I mean, I want to say it's right before the second time that you end up fighting May. You know, that little route underneath Cycling Road. There's another place that's a bit
oh my god, I forgot about that. You talked about
the secret house.
Yeah.
And its secrets.
Go tell them.
Yes, it's the secret house. It's at the very
end. The trick house. Yeah.
Yes, the trick house filled with its secrets and amazingness.
And he totally didn't rip off the gym leaders.
No, yes, of course he did not. But at the same time, this person, you would go to this house, and every single time,
also
you would have to find this person who was hiding behind their furniture.
First you had to get through the traps, you had to battle all these trainers, and you had to find a scroll, and it would be some conceited ass thing like, Trickmaster is cool, Trickmaster is awesome, Trickmaster is suck my dick.
Which he is. It's like...
It was a dude. Right? And also, apparently he had rocket shoes, which I will explain why in a second.
Yes.
Basically, you do all this stuff. You have to go write this on the door, and it clicks open. I don't know how that lock would work, or how you're writing on metal with no pen or anything that you find. And you go to him, and he gives you an item, and you leave. And he jets out of the ceiling.
It's like, well, time to go.
So it's his, like, you know the animation thing, but if you step... Let's see, what was it? There was, like, you know the holes that... Where was it? You stepped on those kind of holes, and they did this? I'm thinking somewhere that had this. And there'd be, like, a jet effect that pushed you up.
I think... Are you thinking about the opposite thing, where it's like you stepped on the hole and it pushed you downward?
No, there was some animation that they used for this. I don't remember where it was from offhand, but basically... He, like, flies to the ceiling, alright? And it was just, you know that, on Poke, they had this music that was just for this, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I know on Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, they used it as for the eggs hatching, but...
I mean,
it had the amazing music.
What made the Trick House even better is not just the fact that, like, oh, you know, it was a little puzzle that you got to complete. It was also interesting in the fact that not only you also got a reward for it. So like he would give you good stuff. Like he would give you
like red candy, magnet. Also, this is how you got special mail too. Remember, glitter mail, flower mail.
Like he gave you all the special mails, and that wasn't even in there. Like you had to go and find them in the maze. You find them in the maze, and then after that.
Yeah, we forgot the start, dude. We forgot the start of the Trick House. When you walk in.
Yes, I said, like,
you know what we're talking about,
he was hiding behind furniture, and, like, he was hiding...
The worst one was the last one, where you can't see the glint, so you have to go and check every room until you've checked that window.
Yes, it made me almost think a few times that, like, maybe he's hiding underneath the little floor mat that I'm standing on.
Maybe he's not home and I'm about to get arrested.
It's like that...
I wouldn't even thought of that. Also...
And not only...
Sorry,
I just want to continue this. And not only did he give you great items at the very end of it, but it wasn't just like the fact that you solved the puzzle. It wasn't just the fact of what you got at the end, but it's what he told you at the end that made it so satisfying. Because the trick master he's obviously an egotistical guy, but the thing is he obviously has skills behind him, but he always tells you that like in each and every time that you beat him, like the number escalates. He'll say like, "Oh, it's like it took me like 6 months to build all this. You might be as good as me in about 6 different ways." And you just think to yourself, next time it's gonna be 7.
The worst though. The quiz bots were the worst. That was the hardest thing in the damn game. Asked about shop prices.
That's when things got. That's honestly the point where I started guessing.
And also, they fucked with us doing on Emerald. They actually caught me 6 times because they were asking at the beginning of when you saw. Also, I don't know how he would know that information, mind you. He's talking about
that's because the
Professor
Trick
Birch,
Master
you
is
your first
God.
Pokemon when Professor Birch was being chased. What Pokemon was being chased by? And I cannot figure out why Poochyena was wrong. Keep in mind, my brother started the game.
That's honestly the point in time when you were playing the game, when you looked at your Game Boy Advance or your SP, and you were like, you just set it down. You're like,
The quizzes were they were the fifth thing, and they were the hardest because one of them was like, take away the price of a Repel and take away the price of a Skipper. What do you have? I'm like, fuck.
That's honestly it was at that point in time you just looked at the Trick Master and you were like,
you win.
Who are you?
Like, and also the music he had, like, they never used that music again. It was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Phil, you need to talk. We haven't let you.
Yes, say words.
I just been listening to you both ramble on for the last.
About the guy.
Actually, I can actually look back and see how long you guys have been talking. I think it's been about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
ignoring me.
Sorry, but also like, what? I guess since I spoiled what button I was looking forward to, secret bases is the next thing. Who remembers those?
I do, although they weren't all that interesting.
I made a maze of slides.
Well, they weren't all that interesting because of, the problem of the Game Boy Advance was the problem of connectivity.
Yeah, I didn't have any friends that had the game. Like, I had my brother's game that I stole. That was it.
No, yeah, but here's the
you
thing.
Could get level. I use that for level grinding though, because the cool thing was whenever you mixed records, like their secret bases would appear, and you could go there battle them once a day. And also, it was always pretty interesting seeing what trainer they classified you as. Like, my brother was a toddler.
Yeah. But
wait, are we talking about Gen 4?
Gen 3.
No, in Gen 3.
When you also mixing records with that, I feel old just remembering that.
Yes, in Gen 3 you can mix records because of
basically like you would get like the TV
wireless
reports and stuff you would get normally, and also that basically if they had a secret base on the game, which made it interesting if you had the same base. Basically, they would appear there, and they would have you could battle them once a day, and they would have the same team that they had whenever you mix records. Like, my brother had, like, a level 61 Swampert, a level 54 Exploud, the same drill. And also, we kind of cheated the Elite Four because we couldn't get past the Dragon Dude. What we did is we had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Each of them we picked a different starter. Each of them we'd gotten a Legendary. So basically, in all three games, you look at the Hall of Fame, the first entry is Sceptile, Groudon, Blaziken, Kyogre, Swampert, Rayquaza.
Yeah. But, actually, that whole issue with the secret base, like the whole problem of, like, you don't have any friends. You know what that's solved by? That's solved by the 3DS.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. If they don't include that, I will have to kill some Nintendo employees.
Honestly, they could easily just be like, I'm going to
be seriously disappointed if they don't.
Keep on your friends.
One of the, like, where did you guys, like, I remember mine was in it was that bush near the Bug Maniac coming into Lily Cove City.
Mine was always in the pond by Cycling Road.
Also, 3D plushies. Oh my god, it's gonna be so adorable.
It was also
the Wilmer one.
Yes.
I was going, yay! Like, that's what I imagine saying with that face.
It's funny.
There was one thing that I hated is that you couldn't use every secret base until you beat the game.
Yeah.
Phil, do you remember these?
Not a clue.
Well, remember, like, I'll explain this to you. The way it was then, in Gen 3, Secret Power was a field move. A field move being a move you can use outside of battle, like Sweet Scent, Cut, etc. But you remember there was that fiery path. When you were going, you just beaten the third gym, you've gotten Rock Smash, you're going north, you can't go up the airlift because Team Magma is being a douche and they are hogging the line, right? So you have to go through the fiery path, the place where you could find Torkoal and Slugma, right? Mm-hmm. And there was that chick in front of the tree you talk to. She says, I wonder if this one will work. And she basically tells you how you can use secret power on a tree, an indentation on a wall, or she didn't say this at the time, but one of those weird large bushes near the rainy areas. And you can basically like build a base inside that. That's where the plushes and stuff came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the thing. You've just named off what happened. I don't talk to people.
You do not know standard RPG rules, Phil. Talk to everyone, examine every trash can.
Pretty much, yeah.
Even though they never put stuff in them.
You gotta remember, my 10-year-old mind was like, I got to fight, and I got to continue on.
He also doesn't play very many RPGs.
Okay, yeah, I've learned that the hard way.
Good RPGs.
Final Fantasy VI. Although he's seen the best moment of Final Fantasy VI, thanks to me.
Alright, well, it's been a pleasure talking with you guys about this, and I really hate to be cutting out on the discussion, but it's
actually, I think we should be ending it. We're near the 1 hour mark.
It'll be good. Also, we could do an entire one just on what Nintendo needs to stop doing. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we're at the 55-minute mark.
This
we
was
might
fun,
as well.
No, yeah, but
Also,
going to have to-
let's see. Is there anything else that just to mention before we go? I'm trying to think. I want to see the ashes.
What do we want for contest next, or for this gen?
I want it to be something of I don't want it to be I'm imagining a Nintendogs-esque thing.
I just wanted the anime thing where they had the fight at the end of the contest.
Yeah, because that would make it winnable. And also, I want them to be a little more creative with the nicknames of the stuff. Although it's funny that they had that one person. I think wasn't there a Nurse Joy that would enter the contests on Emerald after you beat the game? Could I? Oh, Could I left actually. Michael, I'm sorry that we didn't let you talk much.
He doesn't care. He's distracted with Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, finally getting around to playing it.
All right, but I guess I'm going to go and assume this. Let's look at what we know. All right, it's coming out.
Don't assume.
No, I'm looking at what we know. Okay, we know they released in November. It says it's going to be a brand new region. I assume that's either A, marketing jargon, or B, they're addressing the generation that has no clue about the greatest generation of all time.
Either way,
All right.
they're going to make money.
Yeah, Nintendo's riding the hype train all the way to the bank. But I want to see the other things that need to fix.
Again, it's great talking with you all.
Yeah,
But
we're about to wrap it
again,
up.
I have to get going. It's been great talking with you all, and I hope to
Hopefully,
hear
could I
even
come back?
more
Could I
about
give us
Gen
a YouTube link or something, and we'll advertise you.
Will do. All right, ta-ta.
Okay, everybody, we need to get. Well, yeah,
I'm not gonna be sleeping
it's been
anytime
a
soon, but
blast.
they're wimps.
It's been about an hour. We might as well cut it now.
Phil gets to do the editing. Yay!
Yep, I get to
Which
listen to
image-
an hour of us talk and
Well,
try to.
Me and Kadai talking, you mostly listening. Imagine
Yeah, I get to listen to you guys again.
the Trickmaster guy though. I would not have remembered that guy. That guy was so freaking funny because the best part was the ending where he just starts spinning and just goes up through the ceiling, and you don't, because it's a top-down game, you don't see this, but you just imagine there's a million holes in the ceiling. His contractor just comes in like, what the hell did I tell you last time? I don't know. I was busy making traps. That's also a problem. You have 6 parents wanting to see you because their kids fell down a hole and they haven't been seen in weeks.
Okay, we need to end this. Don't worry, I'll do tons and tons of editing to make it look all awesome in
I
that.
think I unplugged myself.
Oh well!
Phillips, Michael may die because he's not on his life support now.
Oh, ha.
Okay,
Never mind,
everybody.
I can hear you.
This is going to be our first round too. We're going to try to stream a few of these possibly. If not, we're just going to upload them here, and Philip's going to do all the editing because I'm his secretary and that's his job. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, see ya.
See ya, everybody!
Say bye, Michael.
Michael, say bye!
Goodbye.
Say bye or you get it says bye or it gets the paddle again.
Oh, don't start that. Really?
You've been a very naughty boy, Michael.